So glad you're with us on the Texas Wealth Report. Brad Johansson with Summer Roberts, Impact Partners Financial. Nice to have you with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic today.
Outstanding. I want to talk about, a lot of you watch all the time and say, you know what, it'd be nice to come out, or I'm going to sit back and watch, or I'm a little worried about asking questions. This show may be for you because we want you to come out and participate and understand that this can be for you. And there are a lot of others like you who may have a lot of the same type of questions for you. I want to talk about some of the events that you do because you guys go out and you spend a bunch of time in the community.
Yes.
Why is that so important for you to get out with the people and kind of be educational with a lot of the folks out there?
Well, I think it all comes back to why I got into the business to begin with, to be honest. After my Papa Joe died, which was devastating in itself, my grandmother, in her grief, was suddenly head of household and had to make financial decisions, something that she was never prepared to do, had never participated in. And so I was 14 at this time, and I watched my grandmother grieving the loss of my grandfather. And then all of a sudden, she is faced with having to make decisions on something that she knows nothing about. And it got worse. It got worse, believe it or not, because when my family went to the house to go sort through everything and help her out, what they found was a complete mess. Accounts for no rhyme or reason, policies here, policies there. There was, and even at 14, Brad, I looked at my dad and I said, why is there not a plan? Why did Papa Joe not create a plan for her? Yeah. He knows that she didn't know this. And so my passion for this business runs all the way back to then, because I want to make sure that no family has to go through what I watched my grandmother go through, because watching her go through that, it eventually took a toll on her health. And that was not fun for a young girl to watch. And so I think that because that's so important to me, I want to make sure to, honestly, I want to educate as many people as I can. Yeah. I want to get that information out to people. Even, you know, we're not everything to everyone, but if we can be something to someone and we can help people with a little bit of information that can help change their life or make their plan better, we want to do that. And that's why we do these educational events for our clients every year. We have, I think we've talked about this before, we do pretty robust, big events for our clients. And, you know, part of it is to show our appreciation for them. But more importantly, what I have found over time is that our clients love the information. They love the education, even though they're probably more educated than the average person, because we are constantly reminding them and educating them.
Sure.
But we have these events for our clients, and boy, they've gotten to be some pretty popular events. Everyone wants to go. We've seen some pretty incredible friendships made at these events too between clients. It's been pretty interesting to watch over the years. But we do these events for our clients to educate them. And our biggest event is usually our summer event. We call it Retirementville. It's a play on Margaritaville, right? So it's a lot of fun, like Margaritaville would be. We have fun. We tell people to dress up, and we have a little fun. We always have entertainment there. But what we do is we ask our clients if they have some lingering questions, or maybe some questions from friends they're bringing to the event.
Yeah.
Submit those ahead of time, because what we do at this event every summer is we bring in a panel of experts, right? And so we'll bring in money managers, we'll bring in attorneys, we'll bring in CPAs and tax experts, Medicare experts, and it's basically, I guess, kind of a town hall, right, where each of the experts is there to answer the questions that our clients have. So it's a fun event, but more so than that, it's very educational. And so those questions aren't out there lingering. They have the opportunity. I mean, they have the opportunity anytime to ask us, but this is a really good opportunity to potentially hear from somebody else too, right? They hear from me all the time, so.
All right, let's do a little Retireville here, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's go into some of the questions that you've had people kind of prepare. We start with annuities because we've done programs on this. A lot of you have heard, well, annuities aren't good, stay away from these. This is the question, why are annuities so popular right now, and where do they fit in a portfolio is the question that was submitted.
Yeah. So I think annuities are so popular right now because if it's the right annuity, it will give you principal protection and guaranteed income for life. And I mean, who wouldn't want that? Let's be honest. So those two things, if it's put in a plan, like we talked about in previous episodes, an annuity is not the plan. It's part of the big picture, if it fits, right? And they're popular, I think, because of that. They give you safety, but they also give you growth. They can give you guaranteed lifetime income. I mean, those are features that are very important to most people that are nearing retirement or thinking about retirement or already retired. So I think that's why they're so popular. Where do they fit in a portfolio? They go in the foundation of your fiscal house because they're protected. So we want to make sure that the paycheck is there.
Gotcha. So asset preservation. Inflation. What is the importance of increasing income if I'm dealing with inflation?
What is the importance of inflation, of increasing income? I mean, it's a must. You can't live without increasing income. I mean, just imagine if you had the same job at the same company for 30 years and you never had a pay raise. Would you still be at the company? I'm guessing the answer is no, right? So why would you think in retirement that you could do that? You can't. You have to keep pace with inflation. So having increasing income is a must for any retirement plan.
And we're dealing with a 50-year number of 3.8% on inflation that people are dealing with right now. Providing income for surviving spouse without unintentionally disinheriting them. You have an attorney partner in this. This goes into your book in chapter 2 in the 5 deadly risks of retirement as well. Talk about that a little bit.
So the premise here is that people sometimes don't realize that the way that they have things set up, they are unintentionally or accidentally disinheriting their spouse. So this is why it's critical for us to have partners like attorneys that do estate planning and probate and all of that, because we need to be able to work with them. If we have a situation where we notice that documents are set up where that could potentially happen, and believe me, we see it more often than we don't. And a lot of people make the assumption that, oh, I'm married. We've been married for 30, 40 years. We had children. We raised them. They're adults now. We have a will. Everything is fine. But I will tell you one thing, is that beneficiary documents will trump a will all day, every day. So it does not matter what your will says. It matters what your beneficiary documents say. And that is why every single year when we have reviews with our clients, we do a beneficiary check-in with them, because we want to make sure that nothing's changed. Had a quick story. There's a friend of mine who does what I do in a different state, and he was telling me a story about how one of his clients, she was a teacher in their public school system for many, many years. She had passed away at a fairly young age of cancer, a very devastating situation. Her husband went to go get her retirement plan. The retirement plan administrator said, "No, you're not the beneficiary. The sister is." He said, "What are you talking about? I'm the husband. Here's my will. We've been together. We've been married 30 years, right?" Well, this case ended up going to the Supreme Court, and guess who got the money? The sister. The sister still got the money. Why? What happened? Well, come to find out, the woman, when she first became a teacher, she was 21, 22 years old. She wasn't married, she didn't have children. They signed her up for this retirement plan. She had no spouse, so she just put her sister as her beneficiary on the documents. Well, the years went by, she never changed it, she never updated it. Her husband and her thought the will was fine, and come to find out it wasn't. The sister ended up getting that money. Horrible situation. So it is critical that these documents are reviewed on at least an annual basis. And this is also why we pull in strategic partners like attorneys to help with any situations or give advice. We've got a few attorneys in Houston that we work with that have been able to help a lot of our clients.
It is partnering with the right people to answer the right question, which is why you need a Texas Wealth Report to cover all of the bases and the unanswered questions, things that may need to be updated for you. Do you have a situation where you now know that your plan is in place, or did you even know you needed to have a plan? This is your chance. Call now, 866-254-8026, to answer all of the questions that you have to take you into and through retirement the way you want it to look. We'll be back with more after this.
I started in this business as a family company. As much as I love my family and as great as it is, I just needed to kind of blaze my own path. And so when I sat down and talked to my team about it, we decided that our name needs to reflect our core values. So our mission is to make a dramatic and lasting impact. I think it captures our firm, our culture, our mission, much more than a family name. And I'm trying to build something for the future and for others. It's not about me. We've got an amazing team that come in every day, and their sole goal is to see how they can make an impact on somebody's life that day. They're pretty incredible.
To our special.
Welcome back to the Texas Wealth Report. Brad Johansson with Summer Roberts, Impact Partners Financial. And we're kind of answering some of the questions that, as Summer says, people ask and submit, clients and otherwise, coming into their Retireville event. There are many events that you can go onto the website to find where they're going to be next, and maybe you can attend one of those. But you've been afraid to ask some of the questions, so we're asking some of them for you right now. Let's go into continuing this as we talk about the expected changes coming to Medicare. Do you know what they are? This is one of those things that you refer to in the book. This is in your Chapter 5 of Medicare, but give us an idea of what you know about Medicare right now.
Well, lots of changes already happening with Medicare. But Medicare is a whole beast of complexity. And what I realized very early on in my career is that the plans are always changing, right? So the plan that was really good last year was the perfect fit for you and your family is not necessarily the plan that's right this year, or it may not even exist. They may have taken it away. So these plans, I mean, gosh, what are they now on? Like Plan Q at this point. Yeah. It's extremely complex. Medicare supplement is very, very important. So this is why we have a Medicare specialist, because it is such a complex subject that I wanted somebody on our team that was a specialist in just that. And thank goodness we did that, because he's able to help out a lot of our clients. And some people come to him and say, well, you know, I have this health care that will be my Medicare supplement from my company. Is it better to stay with my company or get an outside plan? And the good news is, because we're independent and he's independent, he can run those numbers and shop around and tell them, no, keep your company plan, it's much better, or I've got a better plan for you. So that's very beneficial to our clients, and I'm glad we made that decision to do that.
Let's talk about we talked about the rising cost and inflation coupled with the increasing national debt. What do we expect with taxes going forward? Because we know, at least at this point, the rules with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is supposed to end at the end of 2025, but nobody really knows what changes are coming at the end of the year and whether or not we're in a good situation. I think the answer to that is yes right now, playing with the rules that we know about. Take us into what we should be doing right now tax-wise.
Yeah, so we know it's going to change somehow at the end of 2025, or else, if no decision is made by Congress, it resorts back to what it was previously. So for the majority of Texans, that means that most of us will see an increase in taxes in the future. And so the opportunity is right now. The opportunity is there for us right now to do some strategic planning, because we are at historically low rates. So sitting down, looking at taxes from a holistic perspective, looking at how your RMD will affect your tax bracket later. What does it make your income? If taxes go up in the future, what does that look like? Looking at everything from a big overview, we're able to put together strategic tax plans that help people reduce what they end up giving to Uncle Sam, because I don't know one person that has Uncle Sam as their beneficiary on their documents. So we don't necessarily want to give him more than we really should.
Okay, let's talk about the next question, which goes into Roth. What's the difference in a Roth contribution and Roth conversion?
So there's a big difference here. So a Roth contribution is you take $5,000 of your paycheck or your savings or whatever, you contribute it to a Roth account, right? You've already paid tax on that money. You put it in the Roth. It will grow tax-free from that point forward. Now, the benefit is that you can start that immediately, and it starts by that first deposit. So there's typically a 5-year hold on Roth before you can take money out. But if you just start with $500, it doesn't matter. Start one, get that clock ticking, so now we can continue to contribute. The downfall of doing a Roth contribution is, what I have seen with it, is that there are income caps. So if your income is too high, you can't even contribute to a Roth. So that takes higher income earners off the table. They can't contribute to a Roth. And the other thing is they cap the amount that you can contribute every year. So maybe, I don't know exactly what it is this year. It's probably around $8,500.
$8,000.
Yeah, $8,000, $8,500 a year. But that's it. So maybe if you have a Roth 401k as an option, you can put more in there, and maybe that's a better option. It's better to just look at all the options. So there's pros and cons there, but a contribution is saying, I'm taking this money, I'm putting it in. Okay. A conversion is, I'm taking an existing account, maybe a 401k or an IRA, whatever it is, TSP, and I'm pulling part or all of that money. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to dump it over here in this Roth bucket or this tax-free bucket, whatever it is. Now, during that process, you have to pay your taxes, right? So the benefit of that is that you can do any amount. You can do $500 or you can do $5 million. It really doesn't matter. There's no cap on the conversion amount. But the key is that you owe the taxes now. Okay, so this is why we set up strategic tax plans, because we don't know, is it better to do it right now in 1 year, right? Is it better to spread it over 3 years, 7 years, 10 years? That's why we do the plan.
All right.
Yeah.
Answering some of your questions that you may have about how to put a plan together that works. Do you have a plan that works? Get a Texas Wealth Report. It's complimentary. 866-254-8026 to come in, get that plan, put it together, answer some of the questions that you may have, and maybe find an event that you can go to that will answer even more. Make the call, 866-254-8026. Scan the QR code. Let's answer some more of your questions when we return.
Is your retirement ready for future challenges? Join our urgent dinner workshop. Are you worried about your retirement plan's exposure to legislative risk? With the current political climate, your financial future might be at more risk than you think. You might be saying to yourself, "No, this won't affect me." But now's not the time for complacency. Political changes are on the horizon, and they could have a significant impact on your retirement plan. So don't wait till it's too late. Join us for this urgent retirement workshop, where I will reveal critical strategies to help guard your retirement from upcoming potential legislative changes. This is your chance to get ahead and shield your financial future. So click the link now, see if you qualify, and reserve your spot before it's gone. Seats are filling up fast. You don't want to miss this opportunity to take charge of your financial security. So go ahead, reserve your spot before it's gone. Your future is too important to ignore. Act now to prepare for what's coming. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Glad you're with us on the Texas Wealth Report. Brad Johansson with Summer Roberts, Impact Partners Financial. I want to put up the tax calculator because we've been talking about taxes. People have been asking questions about taxes. We'll have more of those. And while we have impacttaxbill.com up there, you can go to the website. You can scan the QR code. It will take you through this very quickly, just a couple of minutes. You fill in your email address. It gives you an idea of what you're going through, where you are in your tax bracket, what you want to earn per year. Then it will give you a report, what the IRS has planned for you. This is the number and what your strategic plan may be. How much you want to pay, $700 or $100? The answer is pretty obvious. It will give you a full 5 to 6 page report that will give you what it would be like if you continue to reinvest your RMDs, what it would be like if you continue on to your inheritance. The tax bill continues to compound. Maybe you need a strategy. A lot of people are asking about this. You can click on that while we ask some more of those questions, because we hear a lot about tax harvesting, they say. Can you explain in simple terms what that is and how it works, Summer?
I cannot explain it in simple terms. No, it's a very complex strategy. But it's basically, the whole premise of it is when we know markets go up and markets go down, right? So what it is it's taking an opportunity. Our philosophy is when markets are down, there's always still opportunity, right? And so let's say the market's down and one particular holding is down. There's a way, there's some rules around it that we have to make sure that happen, but you basically are able to sell and buy something similar within a very short time frame, so that way when it rides back up, we can offset the losses and the gains. So gotcha. It's a complex strategy. But when the markets are down, it's a great way to be able to save in tax money.
It needs to be part of the plan. Here's the next question. Does a 401k rollover have a limit to it?
It does not. It does not. Well, I guess that depends on the company plan, but no, once you're 59 and a half, most companies allow an in-service rollover. So you can roll over however much you want. You can roll over 100% of it, unless your plan dictates certain rules that limit us. But majority of companies at 59 and a half allow an in-service rollover. So that opens up an opportunity just to get out of the plan that's so limited and open yourself up to a lot of other investment options.
All right, sounds good. This is probably the last question we'll get to. Why should I work with a holistic fiduciary financial advisor?
Well, Brad, I would say for all the reasons we talked about today, right? Looking at being an independent advisor is one of the most important things, I believe. Now, I've never known anything different. I've always been independent. But I have had plenty of advisors come in who have worked for other brokerage houses or companies or whatever, and they just sigh a breath of relief when they come in, because we truly put the client first. We are not beholden to one particular company. And that's very important. And the other thing is, because of the plans we build, we really get to know our clients very, very well. As a matter of fact, last year we had 2 very long-term clients pass away. It was a very, very sad day. And I remember I called the wife. I gave her a few days, didn't want to bother her. A week later, I called her and I just said, "Hey, I want to make sure you're okay. Are you concerned about anything?" She said, "Not at all. You know us, you know me. I know you've got the plan in place. I know you're going to take care of me." That is why.
That's the piece that you need. The Texas Wealth Report, complimentary. Make a phone call or scan the QR code to come in for that plan, so that you have peace and understanding that your plan is in place for now and the long term. We appreciate you spending time with us. Looking forward to seeing the office to put together your individual retirement plan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right here next time on the Texas Wealth Report.